Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to She Gets It Done. Today we're back with a few cool, interesting training issues people are having with their dogs, and we went to Reddit for that.
So, the first post that we have is need advice of or a light at the end of the tunnel. My 2-year-old English Bulldog is perfect in so many ways, but she is reactive. I've recently been watching my 1-year-old great nephew and Stella, who is my bully, who is rough. It's super stressful. I only watch him 1 day a week, but have a granddaughter on the way, due in December. So there will be babies in the house much more often. This is what's happening. Stella is excited when the baby comes. We go for a walk, does great. When the baby is in the high chair, feet dangling, no problem. No barking, no lunging, no growling at all. When I hold the baby, no problems. When in the playpen, again, no problems. But eventually, being a 1-year-old, he wants down, wants to walk, and wants to explore. This is when things get stressful. Stella watches closely, and if the baby falls or gets excited and runs, screeches out of excitement or cries, she charges. Headbutts, no biting or growling, and obviously wouldn't let it get to that. I will grab the baby up and I'll always have her in a harness to snatch her and remove her. The baby has two German Shepherds at home, so doesn't really pay Stella any mind, but in is also not scared of her at all either. When the baby is exploring, I'm telling Stella to stay and calm and all the things. When she listens, she gets treats and good girl and lots of love while the baby is there. But if the baby cries or falls, etc., she wants to charge at him. I keep the baby away from Stella. I don't allow them to be too close. I just want them to coexist, especially with a new grandbaby coming. I need Stella to get used to children and know to let them be. What I'm doing now, as soon as she starts to charge, she is told a stern no, put in a bedroom, started at maybe 5 minutes. Today she was in there for an hour. I hate to have to continually just put her away. Will she eventually learn? I know she is still young, but it's just so stressful, and I feel like putting her in another room is it really teaching her anything? Granted, this is also only the fourth week of watching the baby too. Will she get better?
All right. Um, Back to this. That's an interesting one. Lennox does the same thing.
My dog does the same thing too, Ellie.
Yeah. I think it's a very moving stage for dogs. It's just really, really hard for these type of dogs, right? I like in that online course I've made that's on Considered Dog, there's a whole video chapter dedicated to the toddler stage, the crawling and screeching and all that kind of stuff. Um, I I find it tricky. I agree. What do you think? Like, I agree with her that putting her in a different room isn't gonna teach her anything.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm also like not being breed stiff, but also it's a bully mix. Like they're bred to charge at things and everything. And also the baby's at an age where they make lots of high screechy noises. And we know with
Right,
dogs,
drive.
high screechy noises brings out prey drive in dogs. So you got that with movement is kind of it's really hard to expect her to not respond to something that's natural for her to respond to.
Yeah,
I think like her practicing it isn't helping either. Like when it's in the room, like I think having a harness and treats and stuff isn't really going to do anything about it.
neither.
Um,
I
like
think if you really want this to succeed, so for example, with Lennox, I just because we have kids over so little that I just put him away. Like I will leave him out until I know like, oh, now things are gonna get tricky because my sister-in-law has a 3.5-year-old and she jumps over the couches and she's actually really good with the dogs as in doesn't want anything to do with them, doesn't chase them, but she screeches and she runs. And every time that happens, then he's like, go time. So for me, the easiest thing is just to put him in the crate and you're just gonna hang out there until it's done. But I suppose if it's your actual granddaughter and you're gonna have this on the regular for full days, that's not really an option. I would most likely Well, first of all, you need to have baby gates in your house.
That was exactly what I was going to say. Like you can have separation, but through baby gates as well.
That's it. So I would have baby gates. Instead of just having a dog on a harness, I would have a leash on that harness.
Yeah.
And I would probably teach a really solid place command,
Yeah.
because then the dog, look, those are all management options that will fail.
Yeah. The other thing is that it sounds like a lot, but the baby's only there
Mm,
once a week, so it's not like, the dog gets lots and lots of opportunities to practice and be training at the moment, like it's going to be there once a week. It's not
yeah,
all the time repetition. So I think you've also got to give the dog grace that they don't have the ability to practice. Like with Lennox, he doesn't have the opportunity to practice with children all the time.
exactly. And I also want to add to that, I don't want to practice it.
No.
Right? Because for me, when Matt's family comes over, it's already busy enough. Like I'm sorting out lunches or dinners and making sure everyone is, happy and fed and you're having conversations. I don't feel like training my dog in that moment. Does
No.
that make sense? So for me, it's an acceptable trade-off to go like, yeah, this goes into too hard basket. I never plan on having kids. I don't give a shit if my dog is good with kids.
No.
That's my outlook on that. But obviously for this person, it is gonna be major. And I do think you're right. It's only been four times. So the dog hasn't had that much experience yet with making the right choices.
I think as well, so with my dog, we have a nephew, and when he was really, really young, that really like she was very, very interested. She's still interested, he's only one, but
Mm,
she's also interacted with children that are older. And I mean, I would never leave her unsupervised, but she reacts very differently to them as
Lennox
babies.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be, unfortunately, that there is going to be a lot of management till the child is a bit older,
Mm,
dog, and also with this nephew, like the Jordan, with my partner's parents, they have that our nephew for stays when he's over, unless he's up high, the dogs aren't allowed to be near him at
mm,
all. Like he's either in a baby pen or they're behind a gate, so they can't get next to him. But they're still in the area, like
exactly.
they're not isolated because of the gates,
Mm,
not locked away. Like this dog has been put away in a in a in a separate room. Having those baby gates, like you said, could be a good way to build neutralness where
yeah.
they're around, but they can't access the baby.
And it's also the most fail-proof. Like I was saying just a minute ago, teaching your dog a place command is gonna be helpful,
Mm.
but it's gonna fail.
Yeah,
There will be a time that the baby screeches really loud or falls over and grabs the dog, right? Without any ill intentions, but it's still gonna happen. And the dog is not gonna be able to cope with that, and stuff will happen. Whereas with a baby gate, it's much easier to avoid like little incidents like that.
yeah,
It's hard because I don't know. I don't know 100% sure. We can't give that answer if this dog is going to be fine. I would just have baby gates, the crate as
yeah.
well, a crate in the room where the baby is, a place command, the dog on a leash. Like I would have all of those. And yes, the treats, I don't really, because I don't know if the dog realizes it's getting fed for
Because
not
it's not.
responding to the kid. You know what I mean?
I think it's just like, oh, sweet, I'm getting food. Like you're not actually specifically teaching it something. Like it's just getting food when.
Exactly. So rewarding for calm is great.
Yeah.
Absolutely do that. But then if the dog does go forward, I would correct that
Hmm.
in a way the dog understands. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I know a lot of people are really keen to have everyone live as a happy family. And sometimes that's just not
It
gonna
doesn't.
happen for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe in 5 months or in 6 months, the dog is used to having a kid there all the time. And it changes, but I wouldn't just trust that process.
I do think sometimes people have a bit of unrealistic expectation. And also, like I said earlier, you've got to take into account the breed of the dog as well. Like it's got so many more natural instincts to
Mm,
charge. The baby's young. I think she's just wanting the dog to be able to exist around the baby. And I just don't think that's going to happen for a very long time, at least.
mm,
You need to have management in place.
yeah. And I feel like if you want a dog more involved, then create them in the room or use a baby gate or a tether station. I suppose that is also an option.
Yeah. And then you don't, because I'm sure she feels bad about locking the dog away. It's
Mm.
probably a little bit of it too, like it's the dog's house, but it's like you can include the dog in ways by having, like you said, baby gates and stuff that the dog isn't being excluded, but they're just not getting to be
Yeah,
let.
and and the dog can come when they go for a walk together, and the baby's in a stroller, or the dog can roam free when it's feeding time, and the kid's in the high chair. Like
Yeah,
there's loads of positive interactions that you can have that aren't like full on interactions. It needs to all kind of just flow.
yeah,
Like it needs to not be so on the nose of an I want my dog and the baby to interact. Your goal should not be that. Your goal should be complete neutrality.
yeah.
Like my dog can be in the room and doesn't give a shit about this kid. Yeah, which probably isn't a nice way to say it because those are your grandbabies and all that kind of stuff. But that should be your goal. And then your dog can just join in activities, but not be an active participant.
And you just reminded me the other thing is she said in a lot of circumstances the dog is fine. So it's not like the dog can't be around the child
Mm,
at all. So you can just control the situations a lot more. Like you said, like when the baby's in the high chair, the dog doesn't care. Like when they're being held, they don't care. So it's not like you can't have the dog around.
mm,
Just when you know that the kid is going to have playtime on the ground. Okay, that's when you're separated.
exactly. And you know what? The dog probably loves it. They
Hmm.
love having a break. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know that I'm exhausted after we've had family with little ones over. That, little ones are little ones. They get angry at times, they get temper tantrums, or the whole day you're making sure nothing falls over and breaks and they don't break themselves. And by the time that they leave, I'm like, oh my God, tired, you know? And dogs probably feel the same way. Like it's like sensory overload. So it might be that when he gets like an hour in the bedroom, she's just happy to chill.
Yeah. Yeah. And the baby's going to have to nap at some points too. Like the baby's
That
going to go
too.
down for naps. That's time when you can have your dog out and you can spend specific time with your dog then, like doing something fun and bonding.
Mm,
Yeah,
exactly. Or just chilling together, yeah, it's a good case. It's an important question though. Like I think a lot of people struggle with stuff like this. So it's
sure.
it's a great question to come up.
Cool. So that was today's chat on dogs and children. If you are struggling with this yourself, Sana has included a link to her course, Dogs and Children, and you can check that out and get some tips on how to manage it in your household.
Yeah, awesome. Right, we'll see you next time. Bye.